G'day everyone, so in this video we're going to be looking at sketching trigonometric functions. Okay, just a heads up, forgive my drawing and sketching yet again. Sketch is just about being as accurate as you can. So first we'll look at this. We've got 5 cosine 2x and y is equal to negative 2 sine theta over 3. So we'll start off with our cosine 2x example. So first we need to work out the amplitude, okay, and we just need to show one complete cycle in this question. So this is why I'm working on the negative side. We don't need to use that side of our graph. So our amplitude is told by this number at the front here, okay. So here we've got the magnitude of 5. That just means it turns it to a positive number. So our amplitude is going to be 5. So this is how far above and below the x-axis our graph goes. So it goes to 5 and it goes to negative 5. Okay? So they're going to be our top and our bottom because we haven't translated up and down, and they come in future videos where we look at that. Alright, next we need to work out our period. Okay, so our period, that's how long one cycle is. So we work that out using our 2 pi over b, and our b value here is 2. So our period is 2 pi over 2. Simplify that down, that's equal to pi. That's how long one period of our graph will be, and that's one complete cycle. So we're going to look at this one cycle here, and I like to draw out your points first and use these to sketch your graph. Okay, so got just sketching some points here. Alright, so I'm going to break it up into quarters. Okay, we're going to have our pi here, that's going to be our complete cycle. That makes this pi on 2. Okay, so with this, you can actually break down all of the parts. I'll fill in this as pi on 4 as well, and then 3 pi on 4. So with cosine graphs, just remember, you need to start at the top, okay? Unless there's a negative. So we need to start there, and we'll be ending here as well, because that's one full period. Alright, so halfway through, which is here, this is when we're going to be at the base or the minimum point of our graph. Halfway through. And then at 3 pi on 4 and pi on 4, this is when you go through the axis. Okay, so it's always broken up into these quarters, the periods. Alright, so your period, it's always broken down into these points here. And then all we need to do is draw a nice, even, flowing graph, and this could be interesting, through all of these points. Yet again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to try and get these points as close as possible. Obviously mine should have gone through this point here, but just try and be as accurate as possible with these. So this is how this one looks. Alright. Now, with our second example, we need to do the same thing. Whenever you get a graphing question, you need to work out your amplitude and your period. Okay. Amplitude, this one's going to be the magnitude of negative 2. This just changes it to positive 2. Alright, so this is how we can work out that. And I'm going to do the same thing here and just make this 2 and negative 2. It's a great thing about sketching. You can make up your own scales. Okay, your period here. Now, this here is still the same, 2 pi over b, but our b value here is now essentially 1/3. Okay, pi over 3 is like 1/3. So 2 pi over 1/3. So this is equal to 6 pi. So yet again, so one cycle is going to be 6 pi. But yet again, with sketching, you can make up your own scale, okay, unless it's already set there on an axis for you in a question. So I'm just going to break it up into 4 parts again. Sorry, my graph isn't perfectly in the middle here, but hopefully you get the idea. So here we've got 6 pi. Halfway along, we're going to have 3 pi. Then we're going to have 9 pi on 2 here. And 3 pi. Oh, sorry. Why did I write 9? That should be 6 pi on 2. No, 9 pi on 2, that's right. And then we've got 3 pi on 2 here. Okay. So, with this one here, now there's one thing to look out for. This negative at the start. This means that it's going to go the opposite way of our sine graphs. Our sine graphs, they normally start from the bottom here and go up, okay, like this. But this one doesn't do this because of that negative. It starts off and goes down. So we need to do that down part first. So just drawing out, we start in the middle with our sine graphs. Okay, we normally go up, but this one we're actually going down because of the negative. So this first one here, it's going to be at this point here. We've got to go back up through here. Go to hit the top there. And back here. Okay, so just remember your period is where essentially if you took all the values it evens out to equal 0. So I'm just going to draw this one, hopefully a little bit more accurate than our last one. Oh, that could have been a bit better. There. This part here probably could have been a bit better. So just try and make them as accurate as possible. Always use pencil. But with this, hopefully you can see, obviously my graph's a little bit out and it's just a little bit skewed, but the average point here is your x-axis here. So there should be just the same amount above and below the graph. Okay, and you can look at this, we've got the same above and below. Okay, and that should be with your periods. So if you've just drawn one period, that's how you can identify that. Alright, so just be aware of that there. But essentially this is all that you need to know with starting off sketching these graphs. Just watch out for, firstly, you've got your amplitude here. You use this to work out your period using your 2 pi over whatever value that is. And then just watch out, if there's a negative at the front here, this just means you start off sketching in the opposite direction that you normally would. Okay, for a cosine graph, this just means that you would start down the bottom here and go up like that. Okay, this is what a negative 1 starts at. Okay, and for your cosine, this one's like this. If it was positive, it would go up like that. Alright, so hopefully this helps with sketching our trigonometric functions, and good luck.